So how do you handle disappointment if your partner isn't interested in exploring something? We just did a video on how to talk to your partner about trying something new.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be really hard if you don't know how to handle the disappointment if they aren't interested. This is Hunter Riley from Self-Serve Toys and HunterRileySexEducation.com.
Yep.
And I'm Cathy from TheIntimacyDojo. And we're here at Self-Serve.
Ooh.
Very fun. All the fun toys. And it is really hard. It's hard to ask somebody for something if it feels like if they say no, we're going to be flooded with disappointment
Mm-hmm.
and not know how to handle it. And then there can be like a kind of pulley thing like, Hunter, you have to say yes. I'm going to ask you this thing. And then Hunter's like,
oh no.
Yeah, it feels pressuring.
It does.
Or it can also feel creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like you're trying to manipulate people.
Yeah.
And it really all it is, I think, is people are just really hungry for an experience and they don't know how to handle it if someone says no.
Yeah.
And so what do you recommend to people that come in?
Yeah. Well, I oftentimes recommend saying to somebody in that moment, hey, it's okay if you say no to this. I'm not like, it is totally fine if you want to say no, because when you think about it in your own head, you know, you really want someone to be saying yes because they really want to do it, not because they just feel like they should or they have to, because that can get into very bad territory very quick,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's really good that, you know, everybody that when I'm negotiating for sex or other things, I oftentimes say it's totally okay if you're a no to this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but if you want to do this thing, please let me know, and or you know, like let's talk about it more.
Yeah.
And so that gives people options
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, and oftentimes when you at least give people options, they feel a little bit more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so I oftentimes start with saying, you know, hey, there's this thing I'm excited about. Please feel free to say no if you're not into it.
Yeah.
But if you are into it, let's talk about it more.
I think I love how you do that. It's very gentle and open. Sometimes it's hard to get to that point.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that are in not open. They're not in open relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So if their one partner says no, they don't get to explore it with someone.
Right.
Or they might be in open relationships and not have multiple partners.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might have asked all 3 partners and all of them said no. And then it starts feeling like a scarcity thing. Like I'm never going to get to have this experience with someone. And there certainly are toys that are a lot easier to play with or
With a partner.
require a partner.
Yeah.
So what could you tell someone that's like, hey, no one will play with me on this, and I'm feeling very like I don't get to have this amazing experience that I envision about this.
Right. Well, and I think again, for me at least, it comes down almost to always just laying out the options,
Mm-hmm.
right, and seeing what's available. So if there's something that you really want, and you know, none of your partners or your only partner is not willing to do it, you know, talking about compromise and saying, hey, is there another way? Is there something else that we could explore?
Yeah.
Where I could, you know, maybe we could try elements of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for me, it's a lot about options and just laying out what the options are,
Yeah.
and then figuring out if there's an option that is a good compromise for everybody. So that's one of my tools and techniques, but I would love to hear yours.
Yeah. So what I try, I mean, I deal a lot with people about the emotional, and one of the things I found is that a lot of times we'll just start associating because it feels scarce, or we don't feel like someone can help us with it. It starts feeling bigger than it really is, and we start making that one thing. And children do this all the time. If I can just get a pony for Christmas, my world will be complete. And we have that same brain, like our survival brain is never really adult. It doesn't really ever grow up in that sense. We can help it evolve, but there's that feeling of I must get this because it starts feeling scarce. And just reminding yourself that there's a lot of ways you do feel a lot of fun, and maybe if it's not that way, it's like, okay, I'm starting to associate it because it feels like it's hard to get, which makes people do it all the time in marketing. They use scarcity to try to get people to tear down the doors and get their thing. But just realizing that there's a lot of different ways you can experience pleasure, and if it's not that one way, it'll probably be other ways. And I think that, you know, just, okay, I really wanted to try that thing. I may never get to try that thing, but I got to try these 10 other things that were really cool. Reminding yourselves of what you do have and the connection you do have with your partner can help. And also just telling a friend, like being really honest, like, wow, I really wanted to do this and I'm not going to be able to right now. And just owning what you're feeling. Because when we try to push it down, it gets bigger.
Well, and I think it's really important about, you know, who are you talking to about these things? Who are you venting to? Because if I'm venting to the person that's in the situation with me,
it's hard.
That's probably not going to feel very good for them, and they're going to feel like, oh, I'm inadequate, I'm pressured, like all of this stuff, and I can't do these things, or I don't want to do these things. So thinking about who you vent to is really important. And maybe that's even another video we can do, because I know that Mady has some really good thoughts about that.
Ooh,
about
nice.
Circles of people circles of support, basically.
Nice. And I heard her come in the back.
Yeah, so Mady's hiding there in the back, and we can include her soon.
And we can do Hunter's first 3-way.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be my first 3-way video.
I should specify video.
Yeah, I'm like 3-way video, Cathy.
Please leave comments below. How do you handle disappointment, and did this help?
Thank you.
Congratulations on taking this time for yourself and learning these things. If you'd like to follow more of this, you can subscribe to my channel here. Social media is up here, and there's more videos of this type here. See you soon.